Barrio means my neighborhood, and it means my old home. The most important thing in the barrio is the people. Seeing, hoping that they can better themselves, seeing new buildings come up, new houses, seeing people getting good jobs, seeing the children go to school.
When I think of the barrio, I think of family, I think of community, I think of culture and traditions. For the people who live here, they're very deeply rooted in those traditions. There have been generations of families who have grown up here and lived here. When the neighborhood was destroyed to build the Tucson Community Center back in the late 1960s and the early 1970s during that era, this neighborhood was very angry and felt very betrayed by the city. They weren't really consulted, they weren't included in any of the process.
All the area, the 80 acres, was pretty much leveled. People from different preservation organizations were trying to save things. Alba Torres from the Mexican community, she started the La Placita committee, trying to preserve certain things around what we call the Little Plaza or La Placita. And that's where El Charro was, a little green park there, the Ronquillo Bakery. Well, I think one of the social repercussions was to actually establish historic districts in Tucson, trying to preserve other neighborhoods with the realization that your neighborhood could vanish too. But I think even 50 years later, and it's the 50th anniversary of all this starting, people still remember that, especially the people that had relatives or family members that were born in there.
My name is Paul Gallego, and my family has been here since the 1800s. And we donated the first 5 acres to establish a school here in Tucson, Arizona back in the 1800s.
The way that many people describe that area before the construction as so lively, so populated, so full of commerce and life and just people in there. And nowadays, especially in that area, it's very desolate. And there's, as you probably know, all these efforts to revitalize downtown.
Years ago, the Tucson Fire Department had outgrown its facility, and they had to build a new one. And so they built it west of this area. The murals painted on the walls there, and the murals represent the history of this area and people who lived here. My hope is that people continue to support this area, to help it recover, to understand that this is where Tucson began and this is where the roots of Tucson